Those of us
Frank
that
called me
don't
this
work in
afternoon and
business,
said he had something else that he could not.
How's everything
get
at your
away
house?
from. He was
What's
hoping the
that?
meeting tonight would be in
Going
Zoom,
okay,
so he could do
going
both.
okay.
I said, sorry, Frank, that's not how it is tonight.
Did Zoom ever come back up?
I believe it did, but not till late this afternoon
Yeah.
or whatever, so.
Right. It did come, okay.
Okay.
Man, you're making me feel.
Broadcast starts in less than a minute, everybody.
Well, you should, that's the whole idea.
It's preparing to broadcast.
Okay.
Tell me when you're up, because
I'll give you the thumbs up, because that's what everyone's used to.
Do you need this before
Okay.
they're done?
I'll get it from you at the end.
My clock is showing 6:30, so
Hang on.
we will begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hang on 1 second. Okay. I believe we are live. Go ahead.
Since I'm going to talk a little, I'm going to take the mask off. First thing I wanted to do is I wanted to thank the members of the board. The last two meetings were somewhat time-consuming. The meeting 2 times ago, I was shocked it went 3 full hours. And then the last meeting was 3.5 hours, so I guess we never know how long we're going to be here. But I wanted to thank the members of the board for their time and dedication and for the fact that you listened to everything and heard everything out. And we gave everybody an opportunity to speak and put their thoughts and ideas across. We don't always agree on what we think is right, but we do what we think is right, and that's all we can do.
That's our job, Joe.
That's, I sure hope it is. The first thing on the agenda is for approval of the minutes. We'll start with the minutes of the July 27th meeting.
I'll make a
Have
motion to
have
approve.
we received those?
We
I haven't
did.
received any minutes at all for the last 2 meetings.
I sent them out today. They
Okay.
were in your emails today.
Oh,
Both
they were in
sets,
the
both
email
sets.
today?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Well,
July
and you
27th.
left,
I'll second.
Got a motion made and second to approve the minutes of the July 27th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to abstain.
Aye.
for that too.
Okay, we can carry on that with the 4 votes. And then the next one is the minutes of the meeting conducted on August the 10th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ann beat you to it. She had her hand up first.
Okay, Ann's got it.
Motion by Ann, second by Richard.
Why did she take her mask off and I was being blamed? I couldn't figure it
All in favor?
out. Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain. Aye. Is that carried?
Do we have 2 abstentions? It does not carry.
Does not carry.
Not enough, right.
Okay, so that motion did not carry. Therefore, we will be hearing that motion again.
That's
First,
because of the mask wearing Fred over here.
There was only 3 votes in favor?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll look at, let everyone look at them, we'll do them next time.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda, and actually the only item on the agenda, is an application by Dennis Flynn. And this is for the property located at 7418 Kirkville Road, East Syracuse. And more particularly, it's an application for a special permit and for a site plan relative to a dog boarding business. This applies to tax map number 055-01-10.2. Sir, you're here on behalf of the applicant?
Yes.
You are Dennis Flynn, I
Yes, I am.
take it?
Yep.
Mr. Flynn, could you just talk to us and tell us what it is you're looking to do and why and how?
Right now, President Julie and I are partners in a doggy daycare boarding facility out in Chittenango. It's out on Route 5. With COVID, our business has shrunk quite a bit, and try to keep our business active, mainly for the boarding, because that's, our repeat business. We decided to try to downsize and bring it to a location where we're at now, and to give it more of a personalized feel for the customer as well. So that's where we decided, well, we'd like to move from where we are now to where we're actually living and still have it on staff 24/7 for the customer, that we're right outside the door to give them the feel that their dog's being taken care of in a small sense. We just want to downsize, We're not gonna have employees, we're just gonna do it ourselves, and that's what we're looking to do. We feel like we have plenty of space on the property for this. We've talked to our neighbors, they feel like they have no problem with it. So I think everybody has all our information. We wrote up a 2-page document that states the different things that may come up. You know, try to answer some questions ahead of time, so you guys have that in front of you, I hope. If not, I have a copy, a couple of them. And then we also had a new survey done and a site plan that shows everything with the fenced-in area. And it's going to be a privacy fence. It's out back, quite a, you know, it's almost, it's a good 300 feet off the road. If there's anything that you guys feel that you need, I should have it here tonight.
Did you bring in the approval from your 2 neighbors?
Yes. And a couple copies here.
They sent letters, correct?
Yeah, I had one sign it, because he's a little older, so he doesn't have a computer and all that, but our other neighbor is more computerized, so she sent it to us electronically.
I got a bunch of questions.
Sure.
I could just jump in. First of all, we've got this new storage barn. That's part of the site plan.
Yeah.
That I don't think has anything to do with the dog and daycare.
No, that's just so I can put my cars and my lawnmowers and stuff like that. It's just a place
So
to
that
cover.
really, since we're looking at a doggy daycare, I'm not sure why that's on here.
Oh, just because I have a permit for it now. So else that you probably want to show anything going on in the future. So I made sure that was in the plan. And it kind of shows where the fence, how the fence would butt up to that building. So it gives you that enclosed area.
And why does that?
Beg your pardon?
Why does the fence butt up against that building?
Oh, to give an enclosed area for the dogs so they can't get, you know, when we open the door, they can go out free and just roam around.
But they won't go to that new building?
No, there's no even door on that side of that new building.
The garage itself,
Yeah.
I think I asked when we were on the...
Yeah, a
a
month ago.
Whether it was insulated or not. You said
Yeah,
yes.
it's insulated, yeah.
Are the doors, are the garage doors insulated?
Yeah, so we're gonna have, I'm gonna take one of the doors out and then just put frame it in, put a window in. The other overhead doors, they're both insulated now anyway, but they are insulated doors.
Do you have heat?
Yeah, I have a forced air furnace in there.
Okay, do you have water?
No, we just have water on the outside of the building. It's a line that was put in from our previous owner. And it's basically just a water line for hoses and stuff like that.
How are you gonna clean?
So what we do on periodic, when we have this special flooring, so if the dog makes a mess or anything, we have special
I
enzymes.
mean when they make the mess?
Right, when they make the mess. So we clean it up instantly, so there's never any odor. I'd be more than willing to take you out to where we are now. You walk in there, you never know there was a dog in the place.
I stopped out there, it was closed when I got there. I
Yeah.
guess you're only open in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever. I wanted to see.
Yeah, no, you're more than welcome to stop
Well, it's gonna
in.
be when dogs aren't there. We can't let people in when
Yeah, you
we have
can't.
customers' dogs there, but.
Yeah, you can't
we
come
can
in.
set
So do you
up
have,
time.
so how do you take care of that facility?
Same as what we're gonna do now. So basically, the recommendation for the flooring is you come in once a week and mop, damp mop, which we can grab right from our house, right? You just bring a bucket of water out there, damp mop it. You don't soak the floor or anything like that. You use the enzymes to do all the cleaning.
How hard would it be to run a water line there?
You would probably have to dig a trench and you know,
That would probably be better.
yeah, we could look into something like that. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, there's some old lines that run in the ground that come from the old well, you know? But, I mean, I don't know if we really need it. I didn't want to get into that whole aspect of, you know, getting water out there if we didn't need to. I think that's a whole nother expense that we didn't really want to take on.
Yeah, as a follow-up to that, if you had water to the barn, or to the garage,
Yeah.
then you'd need to have drainage to a septic, I would think.
Right, so you would, yeah, now you gotta, so that's why we said, you know what, we really don't need it. If you look at how much we use there now, I mean, we bring bottled water for us to drink and the dogs, so we felt like it wouldn't be an issue. I mean, we don't really need it, you know?
How about the winter? The winter with
Yeah, you just bring a bucket out, you know, because we only use damp mop, it's a small area, it's not like you're mopping 20,000 feet, you know.
And we have large water receptacles that we take in, wash every night for any kind of dog, germ, you know, we
Keep
don't
the-
want to make anybody sick, any dog sick. So those go in every night, we clean them up, take them out full, those last all day.
Yeah, I mean, we're only talking, you know, if the busiest we'll ever think we'll get is probably 10 dogs. Right now, we have dogs, like this weekend, we had a dog there, you know, we'll have a couple here and there. So it's not a big operation that we really feel like we're gonna have to worry about a lot of water, only because we're right there anyway.
Now, have you lived in this location a long time?
Yeah, I bought the place in 1988.
Do you know Rachel Litfield or Jed Wayman?
No.
One of the things, and I've never had a dog in my life, so I'm not a dog owner, don't know anything about it.
You don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, there's.
You can borrow it, okay.
But I know that a lot of dogs either have refrigerated food
Yeah.
or medication that, I mean, are you planning to have?
Yeah, we have a little refrigerator now that we keep anything like that, water for ourselves, bottled
And
water.
that'll be in the.
Yeah, we have
inside
just a
the-
little refrigerator now,
Okay.
yeah. So we have that. But yeah, you're more welcome to stop out and see how our facility, you know.
How much longer are you gonna be there?
Our lease is up at the end of September. So what our plan is to, you know, we have to get out of the place that we're in. We're figuring it's probably that month of October that we're, actually it's the end of October, right? So we're gonna be in business through September. We're figuring it's maybe take a month to decommission the place, move our flooring system, you know, make sure our fence is up, make sure we got everything up and running. So we're gonna be down for, we're figuring maybe a month.
What's your flooring system?
It's a agility flooring, it's a 3/4 inch dense fiber, it's,
Like a phone.
yeah, it's like a real dense foam almost, but it's designed for dogs and it's designed for easy on their pads and stuff like that. It's actually great stuff to kneel on too, so when we're down with the dogs, it's like, oh,
So
I could
is
use
it-
some of this at home.
Are you gonna put that in the new place?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a bunch extra that we bought when we bought the place. So we have plenty of new stuff and we got areas that we didn't really use a whole lot. The footprint that we have now is a lot bigger than we really need. And but when we rented it, that became this one big area. So a lot of it's just kind of roped off and stuff like that because the amount of dogs we have pretty limited right now.
Mr. Flynn, one of the standard questions that comes up with any kind of a dog facility is two questions. The first one is noise,
Right.
and the second one is traffic.
Right.
How do you handle the people who are concerned about noise?
Well, right now, we did our own little study. The dog bark is about 90 decibels. So looking on the internet, what's a 90, 95 decibels? If you took a lawnmower and you just ran it, it was about 90 decibels. So what we did was we pulled the mower in there, turned it on, hit the blades, and she walked outside just a few feet to hear if she could hear anything. And pretty much by 25 feet, she couldn't hear any noise at all. So we don't feel like it's going to be an issue. It's a brick building as well, so the structure's pretty dense to begin with. And then obviously if the dogs are outside, we're with them. We're not going to have them
Can I address
unattended.
that?
Yeah, she can.
So, working with the dogs, when you have a handful of dogs, you can control them with training. And these dogs, most of these dogs we already know, and we have this system down. And we don't let them incessantly bark. It's not good to let them get into that kind of behavior. So we shut down incessant barking with positive reinforcement. And the dogs, I do a little squeak or a clicker, and they come to me and they sit, and it distracts them from whatever made them get a little bark, get barking. So the barking will be minimal. And when they're outside, I will be with them at all times. I pick up messes right on the spot.
Second question that comes up is traffic. Since most of your folks are going to be coming in, it sounds like on their way to work, picking the dogs up on their way home?
Well, it'll be, it's not so much the daycare anymore, it's more boarding. So they'll be dropping them off, say on a Friday morning. They might not be picking them up till Sunday or a week later.
Okay.
So it's not, and we're not gonna have a lot of traffic in and out anymore.
Okay.
And we do have room for parking, so if there are, you can see today, you saw how much parking we had. You know, we had an extra vehicle there, so,
And I will be picking up some dogs,
yeah.
which I've done in the past.
Yeah, so we'll have that service as well, so you just call us up, and say, can you come get my dog for a few days, and we'll go pick them up and bring them back to the owner, so we don't, especially that road, we got plenty of area to pull in and out of there, no one's backing into the road, because there's enough area to back in, turn around, and drive out. So
What do you do at night? Do they bark at night or?
No, they sleep. Yeah, they're just like, you know, if you have a dog at home, I mean, it's gonna be, it's situated like that now, where they're all just kind of hanging out, you know, is your dog, you have a dog?
Not, no, but I've had.
Yeah, so they're not, you know, when they're laying around your house, they're just chilling out, and that's what the environment that we're trying to build for these people, is to say, you know, bring your dog, it's just like being at home, we got cots to lay down, the TV's going, you know, they can hang out and wrestle around and stuff like that, go outside.
They've got a TV and cots?
Huh?
They have a TV and cots?
Yeah. You gotta make it like a little hotel for them.
And our experience currently boarding at the location in New Chittenango is, I have a camera system, and I walk out to the car. By the time I shut the doors, turn off the lights, get in my car, most of them are laying down and sleeping, because they play when they are out. They play and they get tired.
Yeah.
So that's been our experience, and I do.
Do you have a TV system in there?
We have a camera system,
Do you?
yeah. So we can pull it up on our phones. And actually, our system, we have a public one and a private one. Our public one allows the owners to watch the dogs during the day. So we have 3 cameras that they can watch them outside in the building. And then we have a private one at night that we watch where
And
they're all crated at night, so they're not out roaming around.
it notifies me of continuous movement. So if a dog gets up and starts stirring and just to lay back down, it won't notify me. But my phone will go off if there's a lot of motion, and I can get right on that camera and see what's going on with that dog. It's night vision, and I can talk to the dog,
Yeah,
and I can be out there in 2 seconds.
Did you crate each dog at night?
yeah.
Oh,
So that way they can't get in any mischief or anything like that.
And none of this will go on inside your house? This is-
No, that's why we're using that building, yeah. But we're close enough, bless you, we're close enough that it's separated, but yet we can walk right outside. You know, it's not like we have to drive somewhere. So it gives the owner that sense of security that it's 24/7 presence as far as, and like you said, well, we're gonna have cameras and we can sit there and watch if we're inside or
But
whatever.
I'll be spending quite a few hours of the day out there with them.
Yeah, so.
Is there an hour beyond which the dogs will not be playing outdoors?
Yeah, we won't have the dogs out outside past 9. They'll do their last outing at 9, just to go to the back. Our experience now is we take them out of the crates, let them do their last minute business, crate them right back up, because they're usually exhausted at that time of the night,
Yeah.
because they get to play
Yeah.
during the day.
So,
Or they do
yeah,
it even at home.
right. So that's a night shift, what we call the night shift, right, for the last, you know, say like you said, around now. But during the day, like from 7 to 5-ish, that's when they're more apt to do their playing and stuff like that, and then they eat dinner, and they're like, okay, chill out and take a nap and get up. Because if you think about it, dogs sleep a lot of the day, right? Most of their day is spent sleeping, if you ever notice how much a dog will actually hang out, especially in your home, right?
do you have a special license or anything in New York for boarding
No.
dogs? No.
Mhm.
How long have you been boarding dogs?
This would be 3 years,
3 years.
yeah.
And you're gonna have no employees at this?
No, we're not gonna need them, because we're not gonna do the daycare thing, right? That's where we need more employees. But if we're scaling back to do the boarding, it's,
I was playing around with the thought that if we needed to have somebody fill in when we go away, but we can also, if we're not gonna be there, we can just close down that.
yeah,
Right.
We don't,
yeah. And my son also, he's 19, he's worked at the daycare, so he's experienced as well. So if we're gone for a few hours a day, he's around, he's living at home, so we have enough people, we feel right now, that we wouldn't need it.
Okay.
You know, we want to take our overhead down too. That's one of the reasons why we're changing our game plan here, right? Because with the downside and the downsizing in the economy, we basically we have to take care of it ourselves.
I guess we all hope that things will get back to normal.
Yeah.
You know, and if it does, do you anticipate growing the business?
No, we're gonna stay low key now. We figured it's.
You don't have any desire to?
No, we tried the big, you know, I mean, it's just, you got more overhead, you got more employees, you got more. So if we keep it low key and just have it like a small business, then, you know, that's her way for her retirement, right? That's the game plan.
Fred, this may be normal.
If cars are coming down Kirkville Road to come and drop off a dog, how would they identify your particular building? You've represented there's going to be no signage at all.
Now, we don't want to get into the whole, I mean, we're going to have a small one on the building, but obviously the mailbox has our address on it. And we've had people that say, where are you located? And they Google it and they say, okay, yeah, we got the house, blue house, white trim, building out back with a flagpole up front. You know, so if you drive down Kirkville Road, I'm the guy with the big flagpole up front. So that's kind of, I think that's enough marking for people that, especially with Google today, they just punch it in their phones and takes them right to where they have to go. So I don't really want to get into any kind of big signage or anything like that.
Do you know, like,
Keep it low key.
you've been living out there a long time, the address 7463, your street, is that, how close to that?
Well, 7440 is our neighbors. the
Yeah,
Martinos.
Cartino, Angie lives the next
And
one
then our
over,
parents
that's
live
440.
further, and then an uncle lives further.
Well, we get a complaint at 7463.
That's across the street, down the road, yeah, they had a dog barking, probably.
Is it complaining about us?
No, it's not a complaint, it's just a
No, it's just-
comment.
It's
Yes.
just comments. You know.
Oh,
They have the standard traffic and noise concerns.
oh, yeah.
Oh, so this has already been put out to the public?
Pardon me?
We've already been, oh, okay.
Okay,
I didn't
good.
realize.
We're in the public.
Oh,
view
good,
now.
okay.
Any further questions from the board?
I guess my only comment, and I'm not sure if this is the time to make it, is we've got this new barn that's on what I think is a site plan that we're looking at.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that should be on there or not. That should be up to the discretion to our code enforcement officer, not us.
I think that because they're doing a special permit, we have a special permit and site plan approval, so we do want to see whatever is going to be on the
Gonna be
site.
on that site.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the whole location and layout of everything is critical to the special
Okay,
permit.
so I guess then the logical question would be, it's a pretty substantial building, what are you gonna do with it?
Just throw my lawnmowers, my boats, my car, my truck, so if I got, just nothing more than storage.
Will there be water,
No.
electric,
No, I'm just gonna
anything?
make it a
Just-
storage building yeah, all I need is someplace to keep the rain from, the snow off and
Okay,
stuff.
all right.
Okay.
I guess the question is, do they need to put in water or not? What do people think?
I don't know enough about this chemical or whatever it is that you guys use. Do you have water where you're at now, or do you use
Yeah.
a chemical?
And we very rarely use it. The most we use is outside with the hose. Filling up a kiddie pool for the dog to play in, hosing down messes outside. By being there all the time, you do cut down on messes because you get the dogs in, you know their schedule, they pretty much go when they get up, and you have a lot less messes inside. But when you do have a mess inside, there's an enzyme you use, and you use paper towel to wipe it up, and it immediately makes it, it cuts it down and breaks it up, and you can wipe it up, and the floor is clean.
Do you
How
have-
far outside do you have to run the hose? Out, when it's outside?
How
From
far?
the faucet to
No, there's a hose spigot outside the garage that's been there since before
And
he
it's
owned the
right.
property. and we just would use that hose spigot, it's
I
already
guess
there.
my concern is when it's 20 below, if it freezes.
Oh, then we just, when it's, in our experience now at the daycare, we don't use the water in the freezing cold, especially since this is water that is,
Yeah, so it's
I don't know.
seasonal.
yeah, seasonal water.
But, you know, the thing is, we're picking it up, we have a service that takes the poop away, so we never actually have any poop on site.
It's called Dog Duty, and we've been using it for almost 3 years, and she delivers the buckets and picks up the dirty buckets every week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it all goes in a bucket with a top, and you don't have any smell or anything outside, so it works out real well.
What about urine?
It just washes away,
Flush the way.
yeah.
Where? Out to the driveway?
No, it's just, yeah, it's just, right now we have stone, and it just kind of goes away.
You got a good dog, yeah.
Yeah, there's no, it just kind of dissipates.
Well, at this point, I think I would entertain a motion to schedule a public hearing relative to special permit and site plan.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Ann and seconded by Arnie. All in favor?
Aye.
I just want to remind the board that it is a special permit, which means that it's an allowed use. It just is subject to probably, criterion. If it can be made to work in a reasonable way, considering traffic and everything else, then it's allowed. And we'll go through that special use permit. So between now and the next meeting, and depending on what the public says, think about if there would be conditions attached to this. They've told us limitations that they're going to have, and so this board needs to think about those conditions, if any, that would be attached to it, and that can include hours of operation. It can include manners of operation within reason, right? I mean, you can't say you can have your doggy overnight, but you can't have any dogs. I mean, but.
How do we control noise?
So I think that we might need to look at what is the maximum, amount of noise. They explain what kind of noise would be expected, and maybe get some education about really how much noise these kind of places can noise. Okay, so like I do have a dog and I have been.
Can I offer some information on that?
Yeah, we're
So
using noise,
most
but
dog
we're talking about
kennels-
barking.
Most dog kennels have runs, and dogs are left out there alone, and they can go in and out of their building, and they're left alone for the week their family's gone, and they get bored, they get nervous, they're barking incessantly. We are nothing like that. They will be indoor with me, outdoors with me, playing, engaged, happy, and the incessant barking is from boredom and nervousness, and they won't be in that position with us. They will, because we've been doing this for 3 years, and it's amazing how much noise there isn't compared to these other boarding facilities where dogs are left to themselves, their own devices, and are nervous and barking incessantly. And like I said, I'll have a little clicker. I already have them trained at the daycare that if we start getting too boisterous, I say click, and they'll come running to me and sit, and everybody gets a treat. And we change their mind about what they're doing.
So it's not the traditional kennel to speak of, right? This is more of a interaction.
We're also surrounded by dogs. We have dog owners around us who
Yeah.
do have incessant barkers,
But
and we can hear them faintly, but it's not something like across the street. It's not something that keeps you up at night or disturbs your daily routine.
yeah.
Well, your dogs hear their dogs and start barking.
No, they're just, in the neighborhood, people have dogs in our neighborhood, so you can hear them in the distance or whatever, but, it's nothing that you wouldn't, especially with our road, as noisy as it is, with the traffic that goes by, people are immune to noise in our neighborhood from just the traffic alone. I don't know if you say it on Kirkville Road, but
Yeah.
it's pretty,
We're on a straightaway. We get all the motorcycles running, and
yeah, so.
You said you're with the dogs all the time, but you're not at night, correct?
I will be inside, but they will be, usually they sleep. When you're done playing with them for the day, they're exhausted, and you lock them in their crate, and they go to sleep. And when I drive up currently in Chittenango in the morning, I have the camera on, I'm looking at what everybody's doing before I walk in. They're all sleeping or just laying there, waiting. And then I walk in and we do our business. We get outside, get our business done.
And the thing, when we have someone come to us, that's one of the criteria, because can your dog, is it crated, do they handle a crate? Because some dogs, we're not gonna allow a dog to come that can't handle the crate, right? Because then it's just it's a situation where the dog isn't comfortable. And we have enough customers now that their dogs are comfortable with crating and stuff like that, so we don't have an issue. So that's one of the criteria we ask them, how's your dog? And obviously, with this being interaction with other dogs, they have to do an evaluation. So every dog that comes to us has to we do a free evaluation. So they come in, see how they handle with other dogs. And if they seem like they can handle the other dogs and everybody gets along, they can stay. We've had a number of dogs that, you know what, you've got a beautiful dog at home, but when you bring them into another situation with another dog, they don't gel well. And we have to turn them away. That's just something that we're still going to instill in any of our customers, that the dog has to get along, has to be able to be alone in a crate, and 9 times out of 10, the dogs are fine with that. Like I said, we have a few that have to go away, that just don't interact with other dogs.
Well, we voted to have it on for public hearing. The next available public hearing date is going to be September 14th.
Okay.
Prior to that, we're going to hear from the county. We made a county referral.
Correct.
So we'll be hearing what the county recommendations are, and we'll see that in writing before we have our meeting. You should be aware that there's a couple of neighbors who are concerned, and as are we, about noise issues and about traffic issues. So when you come back on the 14th, we're going to be asking you to speak to whoever is present for a public hearing. And you may want to be addressing those issues like traffic and noise to give some comfort to them relative to those issues, and give comfort to us as well.
Sure.
We don't want to have dogs barking all night.
Oh, believe me, it won't happen.
And we hear what you're saying.
And
we hear
the
what
thing
you're
is,
saying.
we're the closest ones to them. We don't want to hear it either. But I have to hear other other dogs around our neighborhood. It's part of life, right? So personally, I'm not going to tolerate listening to any dogs barking. I don't do it now.
The board will deal with special permit criteria that night before the public hearing, as well as secret. Okay.
Can I ask a question of council?
Yes.
Practically all special use permits we issue are for installing something that's going to be kind of semi-permanent. A special use permit like this, is it issued for these folks?
It
If
is.
they
It
get
is.
killed in a car wreck tomorrow and somebody else wants to have a doggy daycare center there, but they don't have the experience these people have.
So the specific use permit is specific to them.
To the people.
Right. Yes, to this project, as it's approved.
And it's a 7-year term?
It does not have to be 7 years. That's something that, it's not in the code. That's something that this board generally.
That is typical what it's been though.
3, 5, 7.
Typically, it's
Yeah.
but we have done once. And
Well,
this
that's
is not
something we
unique,
can
we've also
consider,
done.
what type of time period we want to give the special permit for, just in case there's any problems developing.
Yeah.
A matter is scheduled now for September 14th, same time, 6:30. You may again be the first case on the calendar that evening. And the public is permitted to speak, and depends on whether we're in person or on Zoom, but they can give us their thoughts and opinions as well.
Yeah, we did the same thing in Town of Sullivan, so we
Okay.
had to get that approved, because that wasn't set up for that. That building wasn't set up for the daycare boarding, so.
Have you had any complaints where you are now? No.
Thank you for coming in, folks.
Thank
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too, we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Richard. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Fred,
Please
that's my
stand
motion.
adjourned.
This is the chair.
That is my old chair.
I can negotiate with you and we get done.